So if you're gonna play an instrument, it better be in tune, right? Kind of sucks if it's not. So let's learn how to do that. There are a couple different ways you can tune an instrument. I'll run through 3 of them. I think there's 3. We'll just take it from there. First one is what I like to refer to as relative tuning. So this is the easiest in that you don't need any extra stuff for it. I intentionally untuned, detuned, whatever you want to call it, this one. This can be, again, relative tuning is to itself, so I would just start with whatever note this is. This is good if you're like out and about, you don't have a tuner nearby, which most people have a phone now, so that'll work, or you're just in a hurry, you don't care, right? So you just take this low string and you're going to reference the low string. So the way to do that is to go the 1, 2, 3, 4 fret, hold that down, and then you're just trying to get the middle string to be the same note as the low string. So a thing that I like to recommend people do is to, when you're tuning, especially if you're new and you don't know which direction, up or down, sharp or flat to go, start tuning by going down. And then work your way back up. So you know at that point 2 things are happening. One, you know exactly from what point you're starting, lower, than working your way up to try and find that balance point of the 2 strings being in tune. The other thing is you're releasing any tension that's been built up between here and here. Now this particular model has a nut, and a nut has more friction in it than a 0 fret would. So when you're happy with that, move on to the next string. So you need to, different here is 1, 2, 3, 3rd fret on the middle string, the same note as the top string. So I'm going to take it down as per what I just said, and I know I need to bring it up. Close enough. Now, that's way 1 is being relative with your tuning. You got to get that one right because you won't always have a tuner handy, you won't always feel like pulling out a tuner, and you need to know the way you do it. In other words, the fingers on which frets, how to hear it, etc. For if you have a strobe tuner. So you can see when I tuned it earlier, I was tuning it relative, and it thinks I'm way, way under. So I'm tuning this one to G. It thinks I'm at way down near G flat. So I would use this, which I cannot do at the same time that I'm holding it. So let's see here. Can I do that? See, the needle's moving. So the goal here is to get that green light in the middle and that strobe to hit whatever note you're after. The great thing about having a tuner is you could tune up or down by a whole step or a half step depending on the string tension and how you feel about it. So if you had a G tuned instrument like this, you could potentially get it up to A. That's getting pretty tight, but you could definitely get it down to like F or something, F sharp F. At some point the strings will feel too loose for it to make sense, but generally speaking you can go up or down a little bit. So you could use the tuner to find where that note is and then you tune from that. So I'm tuning it to G, and according to my tuner that's a G. So now I do what I said before. I fret the low string at the 4th fret, and what you're listening for is you're listening for the 2 notes which are always going to be the two different strings notes are always going to be kind of like in flux against one another. You hit one, you hit the other, but you're listening for when they kind of do this. You'll hear it in the vibration. If you're new, and again, if you're new to music, if you're new to this kind of thing, if you're new to tuning or whatever, this is not something you're going to hear right away, but the more you do it, the more your ear will start to pick up on the very nuanced way those waveforms are going, and then suddenly you hear it one day. You're like, oh, wow, 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 wow. That's because you finally got them in the same pitch. I don't know if you can hear that or not. And then again, 3rd fret, middle string. I said 3 ways. Those are the first 2 ways. The 3rd way really is just using the app on your phone. I assume you have a phone. If not, there's probably one for your computer. And if not, a phone or a computer, I don't know how you're watching this video. So, hopefully that helps. Feel free to send us an email with a question at hello@stickdulcimer.com. Happy to give you a hand however we can. And happy strumming.